Celtics make surprising move after Summer League, but there's a hidden reason why no one saw this coming. After a Summer League full of flashy dunks and breakout scorers, the Boston Celtics just made their first post-Vegas signing, and it wasn't one of the names making headlines. It was a player who barely even played. So why did Brad Stevens pull the trigger? Boston just signed undrafted guard Hayden Gray to an Exhibit 10 deal. But this isn't just a flyer on a long shot. It's a strategic move with layers most fans aren't even talking about. Gray isn't just another Summer League body, he's the kind of defensive weapon that fits into a very specific long-term vision. Gray quietly led the entire NCAA in steals per game last season at UC San Diego, averaging 3.1 swipes while shooting over 41% from deep. You didn't hear about him because he played at a mid-major. NBA front offices missed him because he didn't rack up highlight reels. But Gray is part of a shrinking category of prospects, guards who defend, shoot efficiently, and don't need the ball in their hands to make an impact. In a league obsessed with wings and scoring volume, he's a hidden asset. What's even more shocking? He played only 22 minutes total across 5 Summer League games for Boston. But it was in those limited minutes, especially during the Celtics' final blowout win against Atlanta, where Gray finally got his shot and he made it count. 7 points, 2 steals, and relentless on-ball pressure that forced the Hawks' guards into rushed decisions. Brad Stevens saw something, not a finished product, but a moldable piece with upside on both ends. The Exhibit 10 deal gives Boston the flexibility to keep Gray in their system via the main Celtics, while opening a path for a two-way contract if he earns it in camp. His competition, Max Shulga, Boston's final draft pick this year, that battle could be more meaningful than anyone expects. It might end up deciding who gets called up mid-season when depth inevitably becomes an issue. The Celtics aren't just stockpiling talent, they're laying groundwork for cost-effective contributors who can thrive in their system. And with Gray, they may have found a disruptive perimeter defender who plays with shades of Marcus Smart's intensity and a shooting touch that can't be ignored. This isn't about filling a roster spot, it's about identifying players who will matter in April, not just October. Hayden Gray isn't a household name yet, but don't be surprised if he becomes the Celtics' next quiet success story. Anfernee Simons, Celtics' fate, sealed by hidden front office moves. Here's why this trade might change Boston's entire future. Anfernee Simons might already be halfway out the door, and most Celtics fans haven't realized what that really means. Behind the curtain, Boston's front office appears to be orchestrating something far more calculated than a simple roster shuffle. According to Mark Stein, the Celtics are actively exploring trade options for Simons, barely a month after acquiring him in the JRU Holiday deal. But what's getting lost in translation is what's actually at stake here, and why this move might define the next era in Boston. Simons isn't just a throw-in. He's a 26-year-old guard with explosive scoring talent, entering the final year of a $100 million deal. On paper, he should be a weapon, but the team's persistence in fielding offers for him before training camp even begins signals a shift that goes beyond the box score. This isn't just about fit, it's about finance, timing, and future power plays. Let's pull the curtain back. The Celtics are currently just $332,000 over the brutal second tax apron, a line that suffocates flexibility, bans certain trades, and hinders free agent signings. Staying above it would lock Boston into a financial straitjacket right when they need to pivot. Trading Simons for less than $7.4 million in return wouldn't just dip them under the second apron, it would wipe them clean of the first apron and even the luxury tax altogether. That kind of reset doesn't just save money, it resets the franchise's timeline and unlocks long-term moves no one's talking about yet. Brad Stevens already hinted this summer that the second apron is the real engine behind Boston's recent trades. Losing Holiday and Porzingis wasn't random, it was surgical. Stevens is not building just for this season, especially with Tatum expected to miss the year with an Achilles injury. He's creating a financial runway so that once Tatum returns, Boston can strike big again. And this is where it gets interesting. Clearing cap now could make the Celtics one of the only elite teams with flexibility in 2026. Most contenders are chained to bad contracts or aging cores. Boston could be the lone giant with cap space, youth, and a healthy Tatum-Brown duo by whatever they choose to spend on trading. Simons now is not giving up, it's doubling down. It's betting that patience today unlocks dominance tomorrow. So don't read this move as a loss. If anything, it's a quiet reset that could turn into the loudest comeback the league's seen in years. Jayson Tatum's comeback plan just got exposed. and it changes everything. No cameras, no headlines, no PR spin, just sweat, silence, and a superstar refusing to stay down. What happened in a low-profile gym in Chattanooga wasn't just another rehab session. It was a message, and it wasn't meant for the media. It was for the league. Jayson Tatum didn't choose the spotlight this time. Instead, he chose a college gym 20 minutes away from a wedding, a place with no NBA lights where only a handful of stunned college athletes happened to be in the right place at the right time. And what they saw completely changed how they looked at greatness. After a devastating Achilles tear in May that abruptly ended his playoff run, Tatum could have disappeared, vanished into rehab like so many stars do. He didn't. He flew into Georgia for Kemba Walker's wedding. But before anything else, he made sure there was a gym, a table, a trainer, and time to work. No excuses, no distractions, just ruthless focus. According to University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, players who witnessed the session, Tatum didn't waste a second. He walked in, greeted everyone politely, then immediately got down to business. Stretching bands, massage therapy, upper body weights, all performed with a level of discipline that stunned even seasoned college athletes. And remember, this isn't someone easing into recovery. This is a 4-time A-Lon-BA first-team selection, a finals MVP, rehabbing a torn Achilles like his life depends on it. What should concern the rest of the league is that Tatum's not just healing, he's evolving. While most stars fade after an injury like this, Tatum is attacking it with the same cold, calculated intensity he showed in Game 4 versus the Knicks, when he dropped 42 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, and 2 blocks in a must-win. That night reminded fans why he's more than a scorer. He's a two-way engine, a franchise cornerstone. Now, he's preparing to return stronger. This isn't about hope, it's about inevitability. You don't go out of your way to train between wedding rehearsals if you're thinking short-term. You do that when you know the next chapter is going to be even louder than the last. Jayson Tatum may not be on the court right now, but he's already winning, quietly, relentlessly. And if this private workout in Chattanooga is any indication, the league has no idea what's coming next. Celtics, quietly shopping $100 million guard while hiding a much bigger move. Something massive is brewing behind the scenes in Boston, and it's not what anyone expected. While the NBA world has been laser-focused on blockbuster trades and headline signings, the Celtics have been working under the radar, setting the stage for a potential roster shakeup that could completely shift their trajectory this season. According to reports, Boston is actively exploring trade options for Anfernee Simons, a player they just acquired weeks ago. But why would a franchise invest in a 25-year-old guard averaging nearly 20 points per game, only to quietly test his market before the ink is dry? It's not about Simons' talent, it's about something far more urgent. The answer lies in the NBA's new financial minefield. Boston is hovering over the second tax apron, and falling below that line has become more than just a financial strategy. It's a survival tactic. The penalties for staying above it are ruthless, and front offices know it could limit flexibility. For years, that urgency is driving Boston's latest calculations. And Simons, despite his efficiency, scoring burst, and the $100 million price tag might be the piece they need to sacrifice to stay in control. But here's what no one's talking about. Simons wasn't brought in to be the future. His arrival may have been a smokescreen. With Porzingis sidelined, Kornet unsigned, and Al Horford nearing the end of the line, Boston is facing a serious frontcourt crisis. Neemias Queta and Luka Garza bring effort, but not playoff-level rim protection or versatility. If Boston is serious about another finals run, they're going to need a reliable, impactful big man. And fast. The decision to move Simons isn't about his fit on paper. It's about repositioning the chessboard before the game even begins. The Celtics aren't trying to stay good. They're trying to remain elite while threading a financial needle that could derail contenders for seasons to come. Make no mistake, the Celtics aren't backing down from their pursuit of another banner. In fact, they might be closer than ever to pulling the trigger on a pivot that catches the entire league off guard. You just have to look past the headlines to see what they're really building.